Hello students, today we are going to start a new topic in mole concept, that is the experimental methods to determine atomic mass and molecular mass. Okay, now we know in mole concept the definition of atomic mass. Atomic mass, that is the mass corresponding to Avogadro number of atoms, and molecular mass, that is the mass corresponding to Avogadro number of molecules, isn't it? Now, how to calculate the atomic mass and molecular mass by experiment? Now there is a different types of experiments, in which the first one is the Dulong and Petit's. Dulong and Petit's. According to this, it is useful for the determination of atomic mass of elements. So this method is only for atomic mass of elements. Okay, to calculate the to determine the atomic mass of elements. Now, next point, it is observed that the product of the atomic weight and specific heat capacity is constant. Atomic weight of element multiplied by specific heat capacity. The constant value, the product of these two value is equal to how much? 6.4. Okay. Now remember, in it should be remember that this law is a empirical observation and which gives an approximate value of atomic weight. Okay, and also this law can be applied only for metals at high temperature conditions only. That means here this is significant for metal elements, number one, and this is significance at high temperature. Okay, now here specific heat capacity. What is the heat capacity? It is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a substance through 1 degree Celsius temperature. That is called heat capacity. Okay, now the specific heat capacity or specific heat is the heat capacity of 1 gram of a substance, to raise its temperature through 1 degree Celsius temperature. Okay, now the product of the atomic weight of the metal and specific heat capacity will be equal to how much? 6.4. Remember, the unit of a specific heat must be calorie per gram per degree Celsius. This is very important. Okay, now we have first question. A solid element has a specific heat how much? 1 joule per gram per Kelvin. Then find its approximate atomic weight. What is the formula of Dulong and Petit method? Atomic weight multiplied by specific heat or heat capacity. The product of these two will be equal to how much? 6.4. Okay, now from here, one more important thing, the heat capacity given in how much? 1 kilojoule. So I am writing specific heat capacity given to you 1 joule per gram per Kelvin, but I have to convert into calories, so I am writing 1 by 4.184. Now the value calorie per gram per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. Okay, now here atomic weight is equal to 6.4 divided by heat capacity, which will be 1 by 4.184. That means 6.4 into 4.184, that will be 26.77 is the answer. Okay, now next question, the specific heat of a metal of atomic mass 32 is nearly. That means here atomic weight is given to you, so we have to find the specific heat. Again the formula same, atomic weight multiplied by specific heat or heat capacity will be equal to how much? 6.4. So from here specific heat or specific heat capacity 6.4, 6.4 divided by atomic mass. What is atomic mass? 32. So answer will be 0.2 calorie per gram per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. Okay. Now next problem, the specific heat of an element is 0.031 calorie per gram per Kelvin. It was found that 29.5 grams of the element combining with 4 grams of oxygen. Then calculate the atomic weight. Now here atomic weight multiplied by specific heat will be 6.4 is equal to how much? 6.4. Okay. Now from here what should be the atomic weight here? That is 6.4 by what is the specific heat given to you? What is the specific heat given to you here? 0.031. So you will get the answer that is 206.45. 206.45. Remember, this is approximate, not exact. It is only approximate value. Now here one more information given here. 25.9 grams of this element will combine with how many grams of oxygen? 4 grams oxygen. Do you know 4 grams of oxygen combining with 25.9 grams element? Do you know what is the equivalent weight of oxygen? 8 gram. 8 gram oxygen will combine with how many gram of element? That will be its equivalent weight. So that will be 51.8 gram. This will be the equivalent weight of element. Once again, here oxygen is the reference element. So 4 gram oxygen will combine with 25.9 grams of element. So 8 grams of oxygen will combine with how many grams of element? The unitary method, this weight will be the equivalent weight of element. Okay. Once we know the equivalent weight, we can find the valency. Yes. How to find the valency? Valency is equal to atomic weight by equivalent weight. What is the atomic weight in the above calculation? 206.45. Now what is the equivalent weight? 51.8. So 3.98. So do you know valence is a integer value combining capacity? So integer. So I am taking the integer value 4. Now come to exact atomic weight is equal to, again atomic weight is equal to, shall I write equivalent weight multiplied by valency? Equivalent weight, atomic weight, equivalent weight multiplied by valency. What is the equivalent weight here? 51.8. What is the valence here? 4. Now the final answer 207.2. Now remember, this is also atomic weight. This is also atomic weight. This is also atomic weight. But the difference, it is a approximate. This is the exact atomic weight. Are you getting my point? Because in the question, the information, extra information given that this element is combined with oxygen. From that we are calculating the equivalent weight. From equivalent weight we are getting the valency. From the valency again we are getting the atomic mass. So the correction of atomic masses, especially in the periodic table, some elements, beryllium, indium, these atomic masses are corrected by Mendeleev with the help of equivalent mass and valency concept. Okay. Now next one, the second method from vapor density of volatile chloride. Okay, now here an element M valency, let's suppose X, will form a volatile chloride MClX. Okay, here X is the valency. What is the X here? Valency of metal or element. Okay, now what is the molecular weight of MClX? Sum of the atomic weights. Atomic weight of M plus how many chlorine atoms are there? X into 35.5, because each chlorine atomic mass is 35.5. There are X chlorine, so that's why. Okay, now here atomic weight is equal to, from here you see atomic weight is equal to equivalent weight multiplied by valency. So equivalent weight of metal multiplied by valency X. Okay, plus valency X into 35.5. Okay, now here 35.5. Are you getting my point? Now, do you know molecular weight is equal to 2 into vapor density? Yes. Now the molecular weight is equal to 2 into vapor density, which is equal to atomic weight of metal M. Instead of that, I am writing equivalent weight of metal. Let's suppose E is the equivalent weight of the metal, X is the valency, plus X plus 35.5. Here we are taking the common X. So we are taking the common X. So X is equal to 2 into vapor density by E plus 35.5. So this will be the final formula by using which we can calculate the valency of the metal. Once we know the valency of the metal, we can identify the molecular formula of the compound. We can identify the molecular weight of the compound. Okay, so once again, now we have some metal chloride formula MClX. This is a volatile compound. Okay, now here metal atomic weight is M, chlorine atomic weight is 35.5 into X chlorines are there. Atomic weight will be, I am writing equivalent weight multiplied by valency, that is the equivalent weight multiplied by the valency. Okay, now here I am calculating the valency X. What is the X valency of the metal? What is the E equivalent weight of the metal? Equivalent weight of what? Equivalent weight of metal. Okay, now here one problem is there. What is the problem here? 1 gram volatile chloride compound was found to contain 0.835 grams of chlorine. That means you have 1 gram of a volatile chloride compound in which chlorine has 0.835 grams. Okay, now what should be the weight of element? Total weight of the compound 1 gram, in which 0.835 grams chlorine is present. The rest of the weight is the 0.165 grams. This is the weight of the chlorine. Okay, now continuation, the compound has vapor density 85. Then find the molecular formula of the compound. Okay, once we know the valency, then we can identify the what is the molecular formula. Okay, now what is the weight of the element? 0.165 grams. We know chlorine here, it is a reference element. We know equivalent weight of chlorine, that is 35.5. Okay, now how many grams of chlorine is there here? 0.835 grams chlorine will combining with 0.165 grams what? Metal, element. Okay, now we have how many grams of as per standard condition, how many grams of chlorine? 35.5 grams of chlorine will combine with how many grams of the element or metal? Obviously that will be called equivalent weight of metal or element. Okay, which is 7.01. So I am taking approximately the value will be 7. Now what is the molecular weight formula? 2 into vapor density. What is the vapor density given to you? 85. So what should be the molecular weight here? 170. Let's suppose Let's suppose molecular formula MClX. Okay, what is the molecular weight here? 170 will be equal to what is the atomic weight of M? Atomic weight of M, we don't know what is the M, plus X into what is the atomic weight of chlorine? 35.5. Okay, now atomic weight is equal to, shall I write equivalent weight into valency? Okay, now what is the valency here? X. So I am writing equivalent weight multiplied by valency plus valency into 35.5 will be equal to 170. Okay, from here 170 will be, what is the equivalent here? We have 7x plus 35.5x. Okay, 7x plus 35.5x. So overall x value, if you solve x value, you will get 4. It is an integer value, remember. Okay, now the molecular formula of a metal chloride will be MClX, that is called MCl4. MCl4, which is the fourth option. Otherwise, if you know the direct formula, you can directly use valence X is equal to 2 into, this is a direct formula, we can use 2 into here the formula 2 into vapor density divided by 2 into vapor density divided by E plus 35.5. E plus 35.5. With the help of this one also you can directly use. Okay, E value 7 plus 35.5. So you can get the X value again 4. Okay, this is called volatile chloride method. In this method also we can only determine the atomic mass of elements. Atomic mass of what? Elements. Okay, now come to next method, that is a Victor-Meyer method. This is a very important method. In this method, this method is valid only for volatile liquids. The liquids which have very low boiling point, they can easily undergo volatile or easily undergo evaporation. Such liquids are called volatile liquids, like we know petrol. Petrol is a readily volatile liquid. Ether is a readily volatile liquid. Okay, for such liquids we can find the molar mass. Now a known mass of a volatile liquid is taken in a Hoffman's bottle and it is vaporized through Hoffman bottle into the Victor-Meyer's tube. Now here diagram is given. In this diagram, this is the flask, external flask, which is here looking. This is called distillation flask, which is known as a distillation flask. Okay, distillation flask. In distillation flask, some liquid is taken and it is boiled with the help of a burner. Okay, now on the surface of the liquid there is a one tube which is known as a Hoffman bottle tube. In this Hoffman bottle tube, what happens, the given sample, that is the compound which has to be, whose molar mass to be determined, the liquid will be filled in this bottle and this bottle is suspended over the surface of the other liquid. Okay, now on heating, what happens, the liquid boils and these vapors will heat the liquid which is present in the Hoffman bottle. Okay, this Hoffman bottle liquid readily undergo evaporation because this is a volatile liquid in the Hoffman bottle. Okay, these liquid vapors, what happens, they goes into the Victor-Meyer tube and these vapors, what they do, they come into the water. Okay, and these gases moving upward direction, and here what happens, in the here what happens, some air will be present in the upper column of the water. Once these vapors are goes through this water, what happens, they push some pressure. That's why the liquid air column here, what happens, the water column will be gradually, what happens here, decreases, and in left side and right side the water column, what happens, increases. Now from here we know how much of air will be displaced by this vapor. This vapor, what happens, occupies certain volume here. The volume occupied nothing but the volume displaced by the air. Okay, once we know the volume displaced by the air, from which we can find the molar mass of the corresponding volatile liquid. Okay, now here we have to take the known mass of the liquid. This liquid which is taken in the half-man bottle, the molar the weight should be known. The weight should be known. Okay, now here the basic principle here is, let's suppose we have W grams of volatile compound. It will occupy how much of volume, VML of a volume at STP condition. Let's suppose we know VML of a volume of a gas will have W gram weight, then 22,400 ml of a volume of a gas has how much of weight, which is corresponding to gram molecular weight, because 22,400 ml corresponding to 1 mole of a ideal gas. Okay, this is the concept. Okay, now here W gram weight is taken and it displaces how much of volume, V centimeter cube. Temperature is known. Now here important thing is, when these vapors come into contact with water, so water has also some pressure which is known as water vapor pressure. The water vapor pressure is also known as a aqueous tension. It is a function of temperature only. The vapor pressure of a liquid is a function of temperature only. Okay, the vapor pressure of a liquid in case of water is known as a aqueous tension. Now we know in Dalton's law of partial pressure, moist gas, nothing but the pressure of the nothing but the gas plus moisture. Okay, now here from the barometric experiments we can calculate the pressure with the help of some manometer. Okay, so the pressure will be here capital P, and aqueous tension, that is the pressure exerted by the water, is small p. So that's why I am minusing from total pressure minus of aqueous tension, because aqueous tension, it is a pressure exerted by the water. Okay, now this will be the only the pressure of the dry gas. So we know from ideal gas equation, that is PV is equal to nRT. P, pressure, generally pressure will be mm, so we are converting into atmosphere by dividing with 760. Volume is centimeter cube or milliliter, so dividing by 1000 we will get in liters. Okay, now weight of the compound, we know how much of compound we taken here. Now the gram molecular weight of the compound is the question mark. Okay, R value we know 0.0821 liter atm mole inverse Kelvin inverse. Capital R value we know. Okay, and the temperature value, Kelvin value, okay, this is also known. So here pressure we know, volume we know, weight of the substance we know, R value we know, and temperature also we know. So from which we can find the molar mass of the volatile compound. This is known as a what? Victor-Mayer methods. Once again, in Victor-Mayer method, what happens? The volatile liquid which is present in the half-man bottle will vaporize and sent into the Victor-Mayer tube, and from Victor-Mayer tube the vapors goes to the water column. Okay, and when this vapor goes to the water column, what they do, they exert some pressure and they push the water column to the downward direction. So here the water column will be decreases. In the right hand side, left hand side water column, what happens? Increases. Here, from here, this is a graduated tube. So here how much of air can be displaced by the vapor we can easily measure. Now Let's suppose W grams of a volatile liquid displaces the VML of a air at STP. Okay. Now how to find the number of moles here? Given volume divided by STP condition volume. The given volume VML at STP condition, actual volume at STP condition 22,400 ml. And one more formula is there to calculate the number of moles. That will be the given mass divided by what? Molar mass. So now I have to calculate the molar mass. How I can calculate the molar mass? Molar mass will be equal to 22,400 by volume at STP multiplied by the mass. So the mass of a substance is given, that is the W grams given to you. Volume of a air displaced by the volatile liquid we know, so we can find the molar mass of the volatile liquid. Molar mass of the volatile liquid. Okay. Now let's suppose we have one problem. In a Victor-Meyer method, 0.2 grams of an organic compound displaced 56 ml of air at STP. Then find the molar mass. Very simple. So we know how many ml of air? 56 ml. How many ml of air? 56 ml of air displaces, okay, the corresponding weight of the organic compound is 0.2 grams. Now as for standard condition 22,400 ml, because the condition given at STP condition. Now this is corresponding to how much of weight of the sample? That is the 80 gram per mole, because 22,400 ml corresponding to how many moles? 1 mole. Very easy problem. Okay. Otherwise here there is a formula is there. So by using this formula also we can calculate 22,400 into mass of the sample divided by what is the STP condition volume given to you? 56. Again you will get the same answer, that is 80. Okay. And one question is given, 0.15 grams of a substance displaced 58.9 centimeter cube of air at 300 Kelvin and 746 mm pressure. Then calculate the molar mass of the substance. Aqueous tension is given to you. Okay. Now first of all, what is the pressure of dry gas? Only dry gas. What is the total pressure given to you? 746 minus what is the aqueous tension here? 26.7. Remember, aqueous tension must be mentioned in the question because it is experimental data, so it must be given in the question. Okay. Now the dry gas pressure become how much? 719.3 mm. Okay. Now what is the now shall I write here? 719.3 by 760 atm, because the pressure must be in atmospheres. Do you know 1 atmosphere is equal to 760 mm of mercury level height? Yes or no? Okay. Now come to what is the volume of the air displaced? 58.9 milliliters. So I am writing divide by 1000 so that the volume converted into how much? Liters. Okay. Do you know what is the capital R value? 0.0821 liter atm, mole inverse and Kelvin inverse. Okay. What is the temperature is given to you? 300 Kelvin. What is the weight of the organic compound? Weight of the sample given to you? 0.15 gram. So the question is the gram molar mass, gram molecular mass, how much? So we know from ideal gas equation PV is equal to what? nRT. Ideal gas equation PV is equal to what? nRT. What is the P here? 719.3 by 760. What is the volume here? 58.9 divided by 1000. Number of moles given mass upon molar mass, that is to be calculated. R value 0.0821 and temperature is 300 Kelvin. Okay. So from here we can calculate the gram molecular weight of the substance will be 66.27. This is the gram molar mass, that is a gram per mole. Gram per mole. Okay. Now next method is there, which is known as a silver salt method. In this silver salt method we can calculate the molar mass of organic acids only. Okay, this is the limitation. Now here what happens, a known mass of a organic acid first of all dissolved in the water, and it is treated with silver nitrate solution, which is known as a AgNO3 solution. Okay, so all the solution, whatever the silver present, that will be get precipitated, okay, to give a silver salt. After precipitating the precipitate will be separated out and it is dried and the weight will be measured, and then again it is heated and decomposes the salt, and finally to give a residue known as a silver. Final compound will be silver. Okay, now here let's consider an organic compound HNA. Here generally acid general formula HA general formula, okay, which give H positive ions. Okay, now we don't know which acid it is. Monobasic acid which give only 1H plus. If it is dibasic acid, it give 2H plus ions. Yes or no? Let's suppose if it is tribasic acid, it gives how many H plus ions? 3H plus ions. We don't know the basicity of the acid. That's why I am taking HNA. This is the acid formula, general formula of the acid. Are you getting my point? It is giving how many H plus ions? NH plus ion. That's why the N is the basicity of the acid. What is the N here? Basicity of the acid. Okay, now this is the general formula of the acid. Acid treated with whom? Silver nitrate. So you will get the silver salt here. So acid H plus ions replaced by the metal silver. So both will have same valency. That's why I am writing the formula for silver salt AgNA. Upon heating, finally the silver atom will be get precipitated. Now here important thing is the what is the weight of the silver salt? This is the silver salt. What is this? Silver salt. This is the silver. Okay, now here we are applying the POAC concept on the silver atom. Whatever the silver atom present in the silver salt will be converted into pure silver. Yes, we are applying the POAC concept. Now in the silver salt, what is the index of the silver? N. Okay, into number of moles of silver salt is equal to, on the right side, what is the silver index? Only 1. This is the number of atom, but here silver index is only 1, so number of moles of silver. Okay, now here N is the basicity. Okay, I am writing as it is here. What is the number of moles formula? Given mass upon molar mass, W by ZMW. Here the number of moles given mass upon molar mass. Let's suppose the weight of the silver salt W and the weight of the silver get precipitated is X. Okay, from here we can find the molar mass of silver salt. Yes, this is the molecular weight of what? Silver salt only. This is the molecular weight of the silver salt. Now here from the molecular weight of the silver salt we can find the molecular weight of the acid also. How? Molecular weight of acid is equal to, what is the molecular weight of the silver salt? 108 into N into W by X. Okay, now here the silver atoms actually they replaces from hydrogen atoms. So now what I am doing here, I am replacing the silver by original hydrogen atoms. Okay, how many silver atoms are there? N silver atoms are. Do you know what is the atomic weight of silver? 108. What is the atomic weight of silver? 108. How many silver atoms are there? N. So I am subtracting 108 into N. Okay, and instead of silver I am replacing the hydrogens. I am replacing the hydrogen. Hydrogen atomic weight is 1. How many hydrogens are there? N. Okay, so this is minus 108 into n plus n, so minus 107 n. Okay, from here if you take the common n value, so you will get 108 W by X minus 107. This is the molar mass of the organic acid. Okay, now here what is the N here? N is the basicity. How to calculate the basicity? Which is equal to molecular weight by equivalent weight. Molecular weight by equivalent weight. Okay, now W is the weight of the silver salt, X is the weight of the silver. Okay, once again listen to me. Here this is the organic acid, this is the silver salt. Okay, now this silver salt will get decomposed into what? Silver. So we are applying the POAC on the silver. Whatever the silver atoms present in the silver salt will be completely conserved into the pure silver. So that's why I am applying the POAC on the silver salt and also pure silver. Okay, so this is the direct formula with the help of which we can directly calculate the molar mass of the organic acid. Okay, now come to one numerical is there. Now here 0.38 grams of a silver salt of dibasic acid on ignition gave 0.27 grams of the silver, then find the molar mass of the acid. Okay, now here we have direct formula. What is the direct formula? Molar mass of acid is equal to N into 108 into weight of the silver salt by weight of the silver minus 107. Direct formula we have. Okay, from which we can directly calculate the answer. We can directly calculate the answer. What is the N here? Basicity, dibasic acid. Okay, 108. What is the weight of the silver salt given to you? 0.38. How much of silver get precipitated? 0.27 minus 107. Are you getting my point? So by using formula we can directly calculate the molar mass of the silver, molar mass of the organic acid. Are you getting my point? Now here 90 will be the answer. 90 will be the answer. Okay, now suppose if we do not know the formula, then how to solve the problem? Very simple. This is which acid? Dibasic acid. Okay, now it is treated with whom? Silver nitrate. So we are getting silver salt. Upon strong heating we are getting silver. By simply applying the POAC, how many? This is the silver salt, this is the silver. Okay, how much of the weight of the silver salt? 0.38 grams. How much of the weight of the silver obtained? 0.27. Okay, apply POAC. POAC on silver atom. Index of the silver in the silver salt will be 2 into number of moles of silver salt. Index of the silver 1, number of moles of silver. Okay, 2 into what is the weight of the silver salt? 0.38 by molar mass of the salt. Molar mass of salt, that is to be calculated, is equal to, what is the weight of the silver? 0.27. What is the atomic weight of silver? 108. From here you can calculate what? Molar mass. Molar mass of silver salt. The molar mass of a silver salt will be 304. Okay, now here actual acid H2A, now it is converted into Ag2A, so we have to return back. Okay, so we have to calculate the molar mass of acid. What is the total molar mass of the salt? 304 minus, we have to subtract the 2 silver atoms, 2 silver, so each silver 108, there are 2 silver atoms. Instead of silver we have to replace the hydrogen atoms, so each hydrogen atomic mass 1, there are 2 hydrogens, so overall you will get the molecular weight is 90. Suppose in the question if the question is find the equivalent weight, then how we can find? We can find the equivalent weight, that will be equal to molecular weight by n factor. We know what is the n factor for corresponding acid. It's basicity. Molecular weight 90. How to know the basicity? In the question it is given, it is a which acid? Dibasic acid. That means n factor is 2. So I am writing n factor 2, so it will be 45. Okay, now the second question, 0.38 grams of silver salt given to you and 0.2315 grams of silver given to you. So try yourself. The answer will be molar mass 140.56. And one more question is given. It is also dibasic organic acid. Silver salt 0.14 grams and the residue of silver 0.216, and the answer will be 196. Okay, now one more method is there which is known as a platinic chloride method. Which method? Platinic chloride method. This method is exclusively used to calculate the molar mass of organic bases only. Just like in the previous, we are going to calculate the molar mass of the organic acids, where here we are going to calculate the molar mass of organic bases. Okay, in this also a known mass of a organic base is allowed to treated with chloroplatinic acid, that is H2PtCl6, in the presence of a concentrated hydrochloric acid, okay, to form a insoluble platinic chloride salt. Now this salt get precipitated and separated, it is dried and the weight is calculated, and subsequently it is strongly heated till all the decomposition completed. In the final residue only platinum will be left, okay, whose weight is measured. Now here this is a H2PtCl6, this is a chloroplatinic acid. Okay, now this is a dibasic acid, there are 2 H plus ions. Now there are 2 bases I am taking. Okay, these 2 bases will combine with this acid to form a platinic chloride salt, that is B2H2PtCl6. On strong heating this salt, finally you will get the platinum residue. The salt weight is W gram and the platinum residue weight is X gram. Okay, now here let the platinic chloride weight W gram and the platinum residue weight will be X gram. Okay, now remember the base may be monoacidic base, diacidic base, triacidic base. We don't know how many H plus ions can accepted, or how many OH minus ions can donate, or how many lone pair of electron it may have. In organic chemistry, especially in GOC, we know the basic nature of organic compound, especially amines. In amines there will be lone pair of electron. The general formula of a amine RNH2, okay, where nitrogen has lone pair of electron, which is a lone pair donor. Lone pair donor is a Lewis base or Bronsted base. Bronsted base is that which accept the H plus ion. Lewis base is that which donate the the lone pair of electron. Okay, now here suppose diacidic base, it will form B2H2PtCl6 taken twice salt. If it is tribasic, so take n thrice here. If it is triacidic, if it is polyacidic, then we have B2, H2, PT, Cl6 taken n. The n is indicating the n value corresponding to the acidity of a base, indicating the acidity of a base. Let's suppose I am taking a polyacidic base. We don't know how many lone pair of electrons will be present. We don't know. Okay, let's suppose n. Okay, now this is the salt, this is the salt. On ignition, platinum will be the residue. Platinum will be what? Residue. Again we are applying the same concept, POAC. Applying the POAC on which atom? Platinum. Whatever the platinum atoms present in the salt, they are completely converted into the platinum pure metal. Yes. Now what is the platinum index here? N. N into number of moles of platinic chloride salt is equal to number of moles of platinum. Okay. N into, how to find the number of moles? Given mass upon molar mass. This is molar mass of corresponding salt. Okay. Let's suppose the weight of the salt is W. Gram molecular weight of the salt to be calculated. Now what is the weight of the platinum? Let's suppose here I am taking X gram. So what is the atomic weight of platinum? 195. Remember, this is the atomic weight of the platinum. Okay. Now here, what is the gram molecular weight from here? What is the gram molecular weight here? 195 into N into W divided by X. This is the weight of what? Platinic chloride salt. Now in this platinic chloride salt, two bases are there. So 2 into the molecular weight of the one base. There are two bases, so 2 into molecular weight of the base plus. Now hydrogen 2, 1 platinum and 6 chlorines. Okay. If you see, this value become 410 because 2 hydrogens are there, 1 platinum will be there, and 6 into each chlorine 35.5, which is equal to how much? Which is equal to how much? 410. 410. But there are taken n. There are how many? Taken n. That's why we are taking into n. That is 410 into n. This is the 410 into n. This is the total mass of the salt. That is the total mass of the salt. From here, shall we calculate the molecular weight of the base here? Yes, molecular weight of a base will be equal to n by 2 into 195 into W by X minus of 410. This is the molecular weight of the base. Okay. Once we know the molecular weight of the base, we can find the equivalent weight of the base. How? Equivalent weight of base will be equal to, equivalent weight of a base will be equal to what? Molecular weight by acidity. Molecular weight by what? Acidity. Okay. Now one question is given here. 0.94 grams of a chloroplatinic acid, salt of diacidic base, ignition gave 0.195 grams of platinum residue. Then find the molecular mass of the platinum. Then find the molecular mass of the corresponding base. Okay. Now this is which type of base? Diacidic base. So that means we have B2, H2, PT, Cl6 whole taken twice. On strong ignition, it gives platinum residue. This is the weight of how many grams? 0.49 grams. This is the weight of how many grams? 0.195 grams. Now apply POAC on platinum atom. Okay. Now there are how many platinum atoms are there? 2 into number of moles of salt given mass upon gram molecular weight of salt. We don't know, that is to be calculated. Will be equal to how much of platinum residue? W. By what is the atomic mass of platinum? That will be 195. From here, can we find the gram molecular weight of salt? Yes, which is equal to 980. Now, in this salt, that is B2H2 PT Cl6 whole twice. In this, what happens? Two bases are there. So 2 into molecular weight of base. Okay, plus this will be 410 into 2 times. 2 into 410 will be equal to how much? 980. Okay, so here 2 into molecular weight of base, 2 into molecular weight of base will be equal to how much? 160. From here, molecular weight of base equal to how much? 80. Molecular weight of base is 80. If the question find the equivalent weight, then we can find molecular weight by acidity, that is the n factor. Molecular weight is 8, n factor 2. How? In the question it is given diacidic base, so n factor will be 2, so that is the 40. So this is the direct concept question. Suppose if you know the direct formula, we can easily find what is the formula here? N by 2. What is the formula here? Molecular weight of base. Alternative, directly we are using the formula N by 2, isn't it, into 195 into W by X minus 410. This is the direct formula, yes or no? Yes, by using this formula we can directly calculate the molar mass of the base. Okay, what is the basicity? What is the acidity here? 2 by 2, 195. What is the weight of the salt given to you? 0.49. 0.49. And the platinum weight is given to you 0.195 divided by 0.195. Okay, minus 410. So the answer will be 80. Molecular weight will be how much? 80. Are you getting my point? Now, one more question is given here. 0.45 grams of a chloroplatinate diacidic base. Again diacidic base, n factor 2 here. 0.15 grams of platinum will be precipitated. So find the molar mass of the base. Okay, try yourself. The answer will be 175. Molar mass will be how much? 175. Thank you.